So, for those tuning in and wondering what's the go with these practice sessions, well, it ain't just about flexing their engines. It's about synergy, mate. Getting the driver, the car, and the track to sing in harmony.
Couldn't have put it better. We liken it to rehearsing a dance. Every step, every turn must be practiced until it's second nature on the big stage.
Alright, Chris Ilduke has put down a 1:48.821. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Caterham Academy.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
There's Mr. Bang, easing out onto Croft 2019. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right, and every racer knows this outlap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
Chris Ilduke has a best lap time of 1:46.415. And off goes Mr. Bang, easing into the rhythm of Croft 2019. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the senses, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Chris Ilduke has a best lap time of 1:46.415. Mr. Bang is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right, it's about understanding the track's personality today, a Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Croft 2019.
There goes Wayne Pearson, on their first dance with Croft 2019. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too, making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
There are just over 305 minutes left in this practice session. Oi, these practices aren't just a walkabout in the park. It's here that races are often won or lost.
Absolutely. Back home in North Carolina, we emphasize the setup. A few tweaks during practice can lead to major gains on race day.
Look at Mr. Bang taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
Chris Duke's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 4:19.005. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Wayne Pearson is on the out lap, not just warming up the tires, but also warming up their instincts, getting the racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
There's Sunoiler, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The out lap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Croft 2019.
Chris Duke's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:45.840. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Sunoiler's on the out lap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
Chris Ilduke posted 1:45.421 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Watch as Mr. Bang takes it nice and easy on this outlap. It's not just about warming up the tires, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob, they're calibrating everything: the brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
Chris Ilduke crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 1:45.593. They're getting to grips with Croft 2019, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
And off goes Megasaurus 55, easing into the rhythm of Croft 2019. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the senses, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
And there's Rob Keane, easing out onto Croft 2019. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right, and every racer knows this outlap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
Huge Ass is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The outlap is like the opening chapter of the book that sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Croft 2019.
Sunoiler posted a 1:45.639 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Now, here's a term some might not be familiar with: roll bar stiffness. Sounds technical, doesn't it?
It does, but in essence, it's about how the car reacts to lateral forces, especially during cornering. Adjusting the roll bar can change how the car behaves mid-corner. A softer setting can be more forgiving, but a stiffer one might give the driver a quicker response, albeit with less margin for error.
Mr. Bang is really opening up the taps now, their first flyer of the session. This is where we start to see what Caterham has got under the hood.
That's right, Rob. They're shaking off the cobwebs and really starting to push. It's all about finding that sweet spot between speed and control on the circuit.
There's the first flying lap for Sunoiler, hitting 1:44.183. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Wayne Pearson is getting to grips with the Caterham in this practice session. Sunoiler has a best lap time of 1:44.183. Look at Wayne Pearson go, they're really giving it some jandle now. The first flyer is always a bit of a reconnaissance mission, a mix of caution and raw pace.
You bet, Rob. They're mapping out the track, feeling out the grip levels, and getting a sense of how the car's performing today. It's a crucial lap for building confidence.
Sunoiler's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 1:43.484. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Chris Ilduke has a best lap time of 1:45.421. It's all about finding that sweet spot during these sessions. Like tuning a didgeridoo, but way faster.
Haha, and a lot noisier. But you're right. In Indy, we fine tune until it feels just right. Every lap here is a step towards perfection.
a bit like looking for water in the outback. These drivers are searching for that sweet rhythm, where everything just clicks.
Spot on. It's that elusive flow state. When everything syncs up, the car, the track, the driver, that's when magic happens.
With just 289 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. There goes Huge Ass on their first dance with Croft 2019. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yeah, and it's about syncing with the car too, making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
Alright, Chris Ilduke has put down a 3:38.840. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Caterham Academy.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Wayne Pearson posted a 1:54.987 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Mr. Bang crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 1:46.528. They're getting to grips with Croft 2019, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Huge Ass is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today, a Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Croft 2019.
Mate, these drivers aren't just burning rubber for the fun of it. They're chasing the ghost, that perfect lap that's always just out of reach.
Absolutely. Back in my racing days, I used to call it chasing the dragon. It's that feeling when you know there's still a little more in the tank, a fraction of a second to be found.
Let's talk rubber. Tire pressures ain't just about pumping them up and hitting the road. It's like a fine art.
Couldn't have said it better. Tire pressures can dramatically impact the contact patch, the actual bit of tire touching the tarmac. Too high and you lose temperature and grip, too low, and you risk overheating, uneven wear, or even a blowout. Each tire will have its own sweet spot where they grip best.
Megasaurus 55 is in Tower Bend. Chris Ilduke posted 1:44.423 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Joe Ergu has a best lap time of 1:45.865. Wayne Pearson's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 1:46.440. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
There's the first flying lap for Chris Ilduke, hitting 1:44.826. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Megasaurus 55's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:42.023. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Hugh Jass posted a 1:42.069 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? These practices, mate, they're like a kangaroo finding its best hop. Once you've got it, you're unstoppable.
Couldn't have put it better. Finding the perfect launch is all about repetition and adjustments.
You ever think about what's ticking inside a driver's noggin during these laps?
All the time. It's a mix of analyzing, strategizing, and adapting. Every corner, every straight is a puzzle, and they're trying to solve it at full speed.
Let's get this qualifying session underway here at Croft 2019.
Let's see who's got the speed and the skills to take the pole position.
Huge Ass is on their out lap. Incredible drive by Megasaurus 55 so far, earning him 5th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? A solid performance from Chris Duke as they currently hold position 6. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
Absolutely, Rob. Chris Duck has shown great potential to secure 6th. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during the race.
Incredible performance by Rob Keane so far. They have been the benchmark in this qualification session, consistently setting fast lap times and securing the top spot. It's a commanding position for them, and their rivals will be chasing their tail.
Well said, Rob. Keane is truly in a league of their own.
Rob has completed their out lap. Rob Always Keen has completed their out lap. Megasaurus 55 has completed their out lap. And there goes Mr. Bang. Current Mr. Bang has completed their out lap. Eddie G has positioned themselves. Eddie G has completed their out lap. Impressive display by Rob Keane, currently sitting in position 2. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Rob Always Keen has just completed the lap in 1:41.291. Their best lap so far is 1:41.291. Putting them in P1, will they be able to hold on to that spot? What a performance from Mr. Bang. They currently occupy 8th on the grid. Can they maintain? Mr. Bang has completed their first flying lap in 1:43.898. A strong showing from Sunoiler as they currently sit in 6th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep. Sunoiler has just completed a lap in 1:42.635. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. Currently in 9th, Joe Ergu has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
Spot-on analysis, Rob. Jorg Yu has positioned themselves well in 9th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
A solid qualifying performance by Wayne Pearson, positioning them in 10th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners. Wayne Pearson has just completed that lap in 1:46.428. Their best lap so far is 1:46.428. Putting them in P10, will they be able to hold on to that spot? It's an impressive showing by Joe Ergu. Joe Ergu has completed their first flying lap in 1:44.573. What an impressive performance from Rob. They are currently leading the pack in this qualification session, showing incredible pace and skill. It's a commanding position for them, and they have set the bar high for their competitors.
I share your thoughts, Rob. Keen is currently
With Rob Keen now sitting pretty in first, they have got to be feeling good.
True, but in the world of racing, good isn't always good enough. They've got to keep their eye on the prize and aim for perfection on every turn. Every fraction of a second counts. I am sure they can find a little extra in there.
Impressive work from Sunoiler, who has claimed 6th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
Absolutely, Rob. Sunoiler has put in a remarkable effort to secure 6th. The competition
Seems like Sunoiler is struggling to find the sweet spot with their Caterham Academy. Sitting in 6th with a time of 1:42.625, they might want to consider adjusting the suspension setup for better handling.
Yeah, tuning the suspension could improve cornering stability, Rob. It's all about finding that balance between agility and stability on a technical track like this.
Wayne Pearson has secured a respectable 10th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
Absolutely, Rob. Wayne Pearson has shown great potential to secure 10th. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during the race.
Wayne Pearson might need to rethink their setup. That 1:45.034 isn't doing them any favors in 10th. Maybe tweaking the downforce for better grip could shave off a few precious seconds.
I agree, Rob. A bit more downforce on those corners at Croft 2019 could make a world of difference. But they'll have to be careful not to sacrifice too much top speed on the straights.
Incredible drive by Robin Overbeck so far, earning him 3rd on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? Hugh Jass has positioned themselves well in 4th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start.
You're spot on, Rob. Hugh Jass's current position of 4th is a testament to their skills and determination. Now, they face the challenge of maintaining their position against hungry rivals.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Wayne Pearson's clocking in at 1:44.513 isn't turning heads just yet. They're holding on to 10th, but with time running out, it's now or never.
They've got the skill, Rob, but they need to translate that into lap times. It's time to throw caution to the wind and go all out.
Hugh Jass has put in a great effort and currently holds 4th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Hugh Jass has done a fantastic job to claim fourth. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
A strong showing from Chris Ilduke as they currently sit in 7th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve.
Spot on analysis, Rob. Chris Ilduke has positioned themselves well in 7th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
It's about time Chris Ilduke considered a different approach. With a 1:43.059, they're stuck in 7th. Maybe a change in brake bias could give them more control in those hard braking zones.
That's a solid point, Rob. Better braking control means they can brake later and harder, making up precious time in the corners.
Currently in 5th, Sunoiler has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
I completely agree, Rob. Sunoiler has positioned themselves impressively in 5th. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
And there goes Wayne Pearson, currently in position 9. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. A solid performance from Eddie G as they currently hold position 6. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. It's an impressive showing by Robin Overbeck, currently in 4th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher?
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Robin Overbeck has positioned themselves impressively in 4th. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Robin Overbeck will be happy having put themselves into 2nd in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
It's been a challenging day for Colin Burton in qualifying. They currently sit in 11th position, which is not reflective of their true potential. With the session nearing its end, they'll need to push hard and extract every ounce of performance to improve their result. Colin Burton has completed their outlap. A solid qualifying performance by Joe Ergue, positioning them in 10th at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Jorg U's current position of 10th reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on this starting position.
Joe Agnew's last lap at 1:44.033 has them languishing in 10th. Time slipping away, and they need to find some magic on the track.
Absolutely, Rob. It's crunch time, and they've got to push that Caterham Academy beyond its limits if they want to claw back into the top 5.
Impressive display by Wayne Pearson, currently sitting in position 10. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position. Looks like Wayne Pearson needs to put the pedal to the metal. That last lap times landed them in 10th, not where they'd want to be, especially with the session ticking away.
True, Rob. It's all about incremental gains. Every 10th of a second counts, and they've got to squeeze every bit of performance out of that Caterham.
Incredible drive by Megasaurus 55 so far, earning him 3rd on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? It's a stellar performance from Megasaurus 55, clinching 2nd.
They're in a great spot, Rob, but in qualifying, complacency can be your worst enemy. They need to keep pushing the limits while staying cool under pressure. Every fraction of a second counts. I am sure they can find a little extra in there.
Not the ideal start for Colin Burden in this qualifying session. Currently in 11th position, they'll be eager to put together a strong final lap to improve their standing. The pressure is on, and they'll need to deliver their best performance. Colin Burden has completed their outlap. The circus has come to Great Britain, and we're all in for a treat today. Croft 2019 is a track that always delivers.
It's going to be interesting to see how the drivers handle the challenges of this circuit. I'm excited to see what they can do.
Megasaurus 55 is on pole. Lining up in second is Rob Keane. The third position belongs to Huge Ass. We see Robin Overbeck sitting in the fourth spot. Our fifth place starter, Eddie G, is poised to make a move towards the front. Sitting in sixth is Sunoiler. Mr. Bang is seventh. Chris Ilduke is going to be starting from eighth.
Lining up in the mid-pack.
Our ninth place starter, Wayne Pearson, is a driver who knows how to make up ground on the track. As the engines roar to life, Joe Ergu prepares to take off from the 10th position on the starting grid.
Starting on the street's tires.
Colin Burton has got their work cut out for them, starting from 11th on the grid.
But they're going to have to be aggressive if they want to make up ground on the leaders.
The green flag is out and the drivers are off. This is what it's all about, Hal.
Lukey here, it's a true testament of a driver's grit. Gotta keep that car sticking like molasses in January. And if they ain't sharp, well, they might find themselves talking a little detour off the track.
Megasaurus 55 will be feeling confident starting from pole position. Megasaurus 55 is burning rubber like there's no tomorrow. Rob needs to show some ticker if they want to close the gap.
Well, Rob, as we say in North Carolina, the race ain't over till the checkered flag. Let's see if Rob has some tricks up their sleeve. You hit the nail on the head, Rob. They've got to keep their eyes on the prize and not let ego steer them off the track.
Oh dear, Megasaurus 55 has dropped down to second.
Sucks to be them, Rob.
Tell ya what, Sunoiler's defending harder than a roux with the last Tim Tam. Robin Overbeck's gonna have to pull something special out of the bag.
Look at those tires on Sunoiler's car. They're gripping the asphalt like an eagle on a trout. Robin Overbeck's got their work cut out for them.
It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. Eddie G wants to get into Chris Ilduke's slipstream. Robin Overbeck wants to close the gap with Sunoiler. Robin Overbeck appears to be losing ground on Sunoiler. They will need to pick up the pace a bit as they head into Barcroft and see if they can get a good exit and gain some ground. It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
Eddie G is following Chris Ilduck so closely, they could start charging them rent for occupying the same space on the track.
Hold on to your hats. Joe Ergu is gunning for Colin Burton. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
Hey Rob, ever seen a cat toy with a mouse? Kind of feels like what York is doing to Colin Burton right now, doesn't it?
It's looking good for Joe Ergu, who has gained places. Breaking news, folks. Looks like Sunoiler is coming into the pits early. Now, is that to serve a penalty, or have they picked up some damage during the start?
Certainly not where they want to be at this stage in the race, that's for sure, Rob.
Well, Colin, sorry to cut in here. I don't think that's the fastest way around Croft 2019. Gee whiz, Sunoiler is breathing down Colin Burton's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Colin Burton's rearview mirror right now. It's getting crowded. Superb driving from Sunoiler, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race.
Y'all ever see a hot rod at a country fair? Sunoiler's giving me those vibes right now with that Assetto.
Buckle up, Rob is all over Hugh Jass like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? Megasaurus 55 appears to be trying to find a way round Colin Burton. They could make a move on them in sunny hour.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
It's a game of inches now as Rob tails Hugh Jass closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
The chase between Rob and Hugh Jass is like a high-speed game of tag only.
Hold on a moment, crikey. Joe Ergu thought they were on a boomerang's flight path. Only problem, didn't come back. It looks like Keane is all over Hugh Jass. I think they are gonna press him through Clover and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Rob, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as Hugh Jass is gonna be aware of them riding their bumper.
Fair dinkum, Rob's lap was so fast it'd beat a wallaby to the watering hole. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Rob is sniffing around Hugh Jass like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of first.
As an experienced driver, I can tell you that Rob must be laser focused on Hugh Jass's every move, looking for the slightest weakness to exploit.
Stone the crows. Rob's on fire, surging ahead like there's a free round at the pub waiting. Hello, first. Eddie G could be looking for a way up the inside of Chris Ilduke. Like a scene from a thriller, Mr. Bang's on Eddie's tail, hungry for that spot.
Sometimes you have to take risks to win, but pushing the car too hard can be a costly mistake. Mr. Bang needs to be careful not to overdo it.
Eddie G seems to be putting the pressure on Chris Ilduke. Fair dinkum, Eddie G is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Chris Ilduke is now down to a whisker at 0.1 seconds. An impressive showing from Eddie G, who has gained positions and left Chris Ilduke in the dust. The pressure is on for Mr. Bang as they try to catch up to Chris Ilduke. Bloody ripper, Mr. Bang's just made Chris Ilduke look like they're on a Sunday drive with that scorcher of a lap.
Dang nabbit, Mr. Bang's bringing some serious thunder with that lap. Wonder if Chris Ilduke felt that tremor.
This is what it's all about, folks. Megasaurus 55 is in hot pursuit of Sunoiler, who's just trying to stay ahead. So, Hal, considering the high speeds and split-second decision-making involved in racing, what's the impact of even a minor lapse in concentration?
A minor lapse in concentration can have significant consequences, Rob. It could lead to an off-track excursion, a loss of position, or even a collision. That's why it's crucial for drivers to stay focused and alert throughout the race.
Things are heating up as Chris Ilduke closes in on Mr. Bang. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
With Megasaurus 55 on the hunt, Sunoiler better not blink. Every split second counts in this tango.
No room for error here. Chris Ilduke is breathing down the neck of Mr. Bang, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Chris Ilduke's just breaking development. Looks like Chris Ilduke forgot they weren't at Bondi Beach, taking a dive like that. Robin Overbeck wants to find a way round Hugh Jass. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Megasaurus 55 is proper nipping at Sunoiler's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. Seems like Robin Overbeck is getting in range of Hugh Jass. What a move. Megasaurus 55 has moved up to 6th. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Robin Overbeck for nabbing 2nd.
Man, if racing was a barbecue, Robin Overbeck just threw down the spiciest ribs. Up to 2nd and sizzling.
As the race settles down, the drivers are really going at it.
It's like watching a high-speed game of chess. One wrong move and it could be game over. But these drivers are masters of their craft, always thinking 3 steps ahead.
That's right, and with the way they're maneuvering those cars, it's like they have superpowers.
It's almost like they have the power of flight, but instead of flying, they're speeding down the track like rockets.
I wonder if they have any spare rocket boosters for sale. Megasaurus 55 is giving it their all as they chase down Mr. Bang in P5.
The mental game is just as important here. Megasaurus 55 must keep their cool while putting pressure on Mr. Bang.
Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Mr. Bang to 0.4 seconds. Now that's how it's done. Megasaurus 55 rips through the track, while Mr. Bang watches the taillights fade.
Go, 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 that's what we want to see.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Sunoiler is closing in on Megasaurus 55.
The tension between Sunoiler and Megasaurus 55 is palpable as they battle for P5. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
As they speed through Complex, Wayne Pearson is relentlessly pursuing Colin Burden in a high-stakes battle for position.
Can they close up enough for a pass? I don't see it personally.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Sunoiler is right behind Megasaurus 55, keeping the pressure on for 5th place. Things are looking as crook as Rookwood for Sunoiler, lagging behind Megasaurus 55 and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. Mate, Sunoiler's really giving it a burl out there, ripping it up like a croc in a waterhole.
I tell ya, I haven't seen that kind of ferocity since my days at Indy. But you Aussies, always gotta bring up the wildlife, huh?
Who needs speed dating when you've got Wayne Pearson chasing down Colin Burton this eagerly? Move over Tinder, this is how you swipe right at 100 miles per hour. It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Wayne Pearson and Colin Burton.
This here's where the steel meets the pavement. Both drivers got to keep their cool if they're looking to take the checkered flag.
You ever wonder, Rob, how much preparation goes into each race weekend? It's not just about the driver, but the hundreds behind the scenes, making every little detail count.
Oh, absolutely. The hours spent in the simulator, the mechanics working overnight on those tweaks. Racing is as much about team spirit and dedication as it is about speed on the track. It's a collective masterpiece.
Hold on to your stubbies. Sunoiler is closing in on Megasaurus 55 like a bachelor at the end of a bucks night. Hope Megasaurus 55 either brought some lube or protection. Looks like Sunoiler remembered to twist that anti-roll bar, giving him better cornering. If they get any closer to Megasaurus 55, they'll be seeing what they had for brekkie. This is a thrilling battle as Joe Ergu edges closer to Wayne Pearson in their fight for P10.
This ain't a track, it's a coliseum, and the gladiators are putting on one hell of a show.
Look at this, Sunoiler is practically drafting off Megasaurus 55. With the gap this small, Croft is going to be a real test.
Now, that's some driving, y'all. Sunoiler is putting the pressure on Megasaurus 55. It's like watching a cat stalk a bird. They're inching closer with every turn.
Tell ya what, Mr. Bang is trailing like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing. Sorry to cut in here. Maybe Mr. Bang's got a drop bear in the cockpit, cause that move was bonkers. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Megasaurus 55's inching ever closer to Eddie G. Tire degradation's a right pain in the arse, but Megasaurus 55's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Eddie G, aren't they?
Holy smokes, Megasaurus 55's extracting every ounce of horsepower from that power unit. They're tailing Eddie G tighter than a belt after Thanksgiving dinner.
Creaky, Sunoiler's sticking to Megasaurus 55 like Vegemite on toast. This is more tense than a possum in headlights.
Sunoiler's got that car dialed in tighter than my grandma's corset. If Megasaurus 55 isn't careful, he's gonna get a taste of some good old American hustle.
They're going side by side, door handle to door handle. This is as close as it gets, folks. Who will have the courage to outbrake the others?
Absolutely, Rob. The energy in the crowd is electric, and it's no wonder why. These drivers are leaving it all on the track, fighting tooth and nail for victory. It's anyone's guess who will come out on top.
The adrenaline is pumping as Eddie G gets within striking distance of Megasaurus 55 in their race for 5th. Eddie G seems to be losing the plot with Megasaurus 55. They'll need to buck up their ideas as they dive into hairpin and aim for a ripper exit to gain some ground. The race is really heating up. Mr. Bang is hunting down Chris Duke with everything they've got. It seems like Mr. Bang is struggling. Their last lap time wasn't as good as Chris Duke's. I've been going over some historical stats, and the lap records at Croft 2019 have been shattered so many times.
It's a testament to the ever-evolving world of motorsport. What was once considered fast becomes the norm, and drivers and engineers are always pushing the envelope.
Things are getting spicy as Megasaurus 55 is breathing down Sunoiler's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
One wrong move and we could see a spectacular new synchronized pirouette performance by Megasaurus 55 and Sunoiler, though I doubt the judges would give them a perfect score.
Robin Overbeck's more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast. And at least I woke up with a kebab in hand.
Look.
Breaking alert. Well, if it isn't Robin Overbeck, the wild wallaby of the track, hopping right off the tarmac. Whoa there, Megasaurus 55 is sticking to Sunoiler like glue. You reckon Sunoiler's feeling the pressure? Cause I sure would.
This battle between Megasaurus 55 and Sunoiler is so intense, you could cut the tension with a knife, or should I say, with a front wing.
It's pedal to the metal for Megasaurus 55, while Sunoiler's still flipping through the radio channels.
This race is heating up faster than a Barbie in summer. Megasaurus 55's got that winning glint.
Sometimes, I feel the strategy behind these races is deeper than a conversation at 3 a.m. in an outback pub.
You're telling me, it's like planning a family reunion in a small southern town. You've got to consider who's coming, who's feuding, and who's gonna cause a ruckus. Then prepare for it all to change in a heartbeat.
Wayne Pearson wants to close that gap with Colin Burton.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
You ever ponder how these drivers manage the heat, especially in the tight cockpit? It's hotter than a ruse pouch in midday sun.
Eh? Ruse what? I mean, yeah, it's gotta be like driving in Arizona with the heater on, right?
Here's some action. Sunoiler's tailgating Megasaurus 55 so close, it's like they're sharing the same set of wheels as they near Croft. Talk about intense. Wayne Pearson is on Colin Burton's bumper. We're in for a treat as they approach Jim Clark S's.
If Wayne Pearson isn't careful, they might end up turning this high-speed chase into a synchronized spinning routine. And trust me, that's not a crowd pleaser.
Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but Wayne Pearson's plans have gone walkabout right now. They're having a proper Barry Crocker keeping up with Colin Burton. You know, Hal, as a former racing driver yourself, can you give us some insights into what goes through a driver's mind during these quieter moments in a race?
Sure, Rob. During these moments, drivers often take the opportunity to assess their race strategy, monitor their car's performance, and plan their next move. It's all about staying focused and finding the right time to strike.
Blimey, Sunoiler's gunning it in fifth. Just a whisker behind Megasaurus 55. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild.
It's a game of strategy now as Sunoiler hunts down Megasaurus 55. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
As we come into the final moments of this epic race, Rob is in the lead. Can they stay calm and bring home the bacon? And that, folks, is how it's done. A solid performance and great win from Keane.
And that's why Keane is one of the best in the business. A dominant display of driving from start to finish, leaving the rest of the pack in the dust.
Impressive second place finish for Hugh Jass. Well done to Robin Overbeck for securing third place on the podium.
What a drive, well-deserved spot on the podium with that performance.
Megasaurus 55 and Sunoiler in 4th and 5th. Finishing 6th is Eddie G. followed by Colin Burton in 7th. 8th sees Wayne Pearson. Joe Yu and Mr. Bang claim 9th and 10th. Coming in 11th, we have Chris Hill-Duke. It's a beautiful day here in Great Britain, and the drivers are itching to get out on the track at Croft 2019.
I can't wait to see what kind of performance the drivers will deliver today. This is going to be an exciting race.
Joe Yu will be looking to convert their pole position into a win. Taking the second spot is Mr. Bang. Watch out for Colin Burton, starting from the third grid position in today's race. Sitting in fourth, it's Wayne Pearson. Taking off from the fifth grid slot is the skilled driver, Sunoiler. On the sixth grid slot we have Eddie G. Robin Overbeck has qualified 7th.
Robin Overbeck will have wanted a better start than 7th.
Megasaurus 55 is lining up 8th. From the middle of the pack, we have Rob Keane in 9th place on the starting grid.
That Caterham looks like it has some potential.
In the middle of the pack, we have Hugh Jass starting from the 10th position on the grid.
Another mid-pack start for Hugh Jass.
Chris Hill-Duke may not be starting from pole, but they're still in with a shot. navigating the intricate ballet of speed. Amidst this mechanical waltz, the ever-looming spectre of chaos is palpable.
Right here, right now, it's about avoiding those fender benders and staying in the mix. Nobody wants to start their race with a hiccup.
I think passing is going to be difficult today here at Croft 2019, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers get on.
Let's hope they all brought their A games today.
There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start. By the Billabong, Wayne Pearson's been caught napping. It's like they've taken a detour through the outback. From 4 to a dusty 7, it's a bumpy ride. Having started in 7, Robin Overbeck will be looking to establish themselves in this race.
Well, butter my cornbread, Robin Overbeck's playing it cool and steady. Maybe they're just enjoying the beautiful original track for Factor by Fields 3 here at Croft 2019. Can't blame them.
These early salvos will shape the outcome of this race. Mate, are they packing something extra down under? Rob's just rocketed into 7th.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
It's a close race between Sunoiler and Joe Ergue in 2nd. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory? The intensity is off the charts as Sunoiler hounds Joe Ergue, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Wow, Robin Overbeck is really pushing hard to catch up to Sunoiler. There's blood in the water for 3rd place. The crowd is on their feet, roaring with excitement. It's an all-out war between these 3 drivers. Who will emerge victorious? Your guess is as good as mine.
Absolutely thrilling, Rob. The level of car control these drivers possess is exceptional. They're towing the line between maximum speed and maintaining control, making for a captivating spectacle.
Oh, the pressure is intense. These 3 drivers are displaying incredible skill and determination. It's like a high-speed chess match out there. Joe Ergue has just dropped the ball. Robin Overbeck didn't waste any time taking advantage of that. With a move that's swift, I'd say Joe Ergue's running on high octane, and maybe a bit of Aussie spirit. Joe Ergue's got Megasaurus 55 breathing down their neck so close, you'd think they're trying to steal their lunch money. Remember those school days, mate? Oh wait, I never had lunch money. Megasaurus 55 has the pedal to the metal chasing Joe Ergue. The action is non-stop as Sunoiler breaking development. Oh, mate, that's how the old man used to drive after a couple of bevies at the pub. Not the right line, but definitely entertaining. This is what racing is all about. 2 fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit.
Should things go south between Sunoiler and Megasaurus 55, you might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Wayne Pearson is breathing down the neck of Colin Burton, not giving him any room to relax. The gap between Mr. Bang and Robin Overbeck is razor thin as they vie for first in this nail-biting contest. It's an intense battle for position as Eddie G tries to outmaneuver Sunoiler. This is edge-of-your-seat racing.
At this rate, Eddie G and Sunoiler are so close, they could share a cup of tea and a biscuit.
It's neck battle we've seen in a while.
It's a battle for position as York Yu tries to make a move on Sunoil. This is what racing is all about.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Keen is right on the heels of Chris Duke, and we're in for a wild ride. Rob's on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Chris Duke like a dingo after a roadrunner. I think we just got time for a quick shout out to our human creators, Dave, Andy, John and Nigel, who have put so much effort into making this possible.
Yes, it's been a real thrill ride, and I for one can't wait to see what is coming next.
Apparently we are going to be announcing crashes and incidents soon. Let's hope they get the logic right. Hold on to your hats. Rob is gunning for Chris Duke. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend? Bloody hell, Rob's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched 8th. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration. We got a close battle as Megasaurus 55 closes in on Sunhola.
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Megasaurus 55 is definitely living on the edge today.
Get ready, folks. With huge ass tailing this close to Eddie G, Sunny Out is about to become a hotspot. Oh dear, Mr. Bang has had an incident.
Yeehaw, Mr. Bang decided to do a little off-roading. Wrong event, partner.
Coming into hairpin, the fight for 5th is heating up. Who will be the first to blink?
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
Oh, this is getting intense. Eddie G is just behind Joe Yu. Megasaurus 55 appears to be trying to find a way round Sunhoil. They could make a move on them in Hawthorne Bend. It's a game of inches now as Rob Keen tails huge ass closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. It looks like Megasaurus 55 is making a move. The gap to Sunoiler is now down to 0.1 seconds. It's a battle of wills out there. Braking alert. Looks like that's a mistake from Huge Ass. This could be costly. Megasaurus 55 is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 1.39 seconds down. Breaking update. Bloody hell. Joe Yu just took a quick detour to the outback. Maybe they saw a kangaroo on the track or something. Truth, Megasaurus 55's lap time's slower than a roo with a limp. Wonder if they've had a few too many frothies last night. Sunoiler's not waiting around to find out. There's a storm brewing, and it's got Mr. Bang's name on it. Eddie G, batten down the hatches, it's coming for you. Megasaurus 55 could be looking for a way up the inside of Sunoiler. Eddie G wants to find a way round Wayne Pearson.
Do they have the speed for a move? And more importantly, do they have the talent?
Looking at the lap times, Megasaurus 55 is not on pace with Sunhoil. Can they turn it around?
Well, Megasaurus 55's got their britches in a twist. Sunoiler is riding the gravy train with biscuit wheels, I tell ya.
Fantastic move from Megasaurus 55, who has just gained a position.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Megasaurus 55's charging like a bull in a china shop. Welcome to second, cowboy.
Fair dinkum, I reckon Rob's got that thirsty look in his eyes. Wants to share a cold one with Sunoiler in the front. Well, blow me down. Rob's lap time just gave Sunoiler a cheeky slap on the rear. Bet that left a mark. Sunoiler is holding third, but Keen is right on their tail. This is what it's all about, folks. Rob Always Keen is in hot pursuit of Sunoiler, who's just trying to stay ahead.
The only thing closer than Rob Always Keen to Sunoiler right now is the paint on their cars. Talk about a close encounter.
The best laid plans of mice and men are but it's certainly not going to plan for Sunoiler right now as they are struggling to keep up with Megasaurus 55. Oh my, Rob Always Keen is hot on the tail of Sunoiler. As they come into complex, I'm sure they may have a cheeky peek up the inside. A couple car lengths might not sound like hold on a second, that won't be ideal for Chris Ilduke.
If Chris Ilduke's trying to embody my self-esteem during puberty with that swerve, spot on. Just spot on.
Tell ya what, Sunoiler's got more followers right now than I do on Insta. Which, to be fair, isn't saying much.
This could be where Rob is going to dive up the inside. Sunoiler is going to need to cover the inside and that will compromise their exit speed.
Alright, hold your horses. Chris Ilduke is really putting the heat on Huge Ass. If I were Huge Ass, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
A misjudgment by either driver could result in a close encounter of the tire barrier kind, and that's one handshake they'll want to avoid.
Things are heating up as Rob closes in on Sunoiler. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. Seems like Chris Ilduke is getting in range of Huge Ass.
If you're enjoying the racing, please remember to like and subscribe.
Someone should tell Huge Ass this ain't a Sunday drive. Chris Ilduke's tearing up the track.
I've always said, it's not the car, it's the driver. And Chris Ilduke's proving that point right.
Tough break for Chris Ilduke, who has just lost a position. The chase music's playing in Eddie's head as they reel in Chris Ilduke, moment by nail-biting moment. Whoa, Eddie's on fire, leaving skid marks and Chris Ilduke's hopes behind.
Talk about turbocharged ambition. Eddie's got the afterburners on full blast today.
The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this. Sunoiler is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace.
Can Sunoiler keep it together?
Oh, Sunoiler went off track? I know the feeling, just like my diet every weekend.
Well, slap my head and call me silly. Sunoiler just made a doozy of a blunder.
This chase is as intense as a cricket match during the Ashes.
Cricket? I thought that was just a noisy bug. But seriously, it's like Game 7 of the World Series here. Don't forget the role of aerodynamics. Wayne Pearson should use slipstreaming to their advantage and close the gap to Huge Ass. Crikey, Wayne Pearson is losing touch with Huge Ass quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline.
I'm curious, Hal, can you tell us about any pre-race rituals you had when you were racing?
Of course, Rob. Before every race, I would listen to a specific playlist of songs to help me get in the zone. I also had a lucky pair of socks that I would wear during races. It may sound silly, but those little rituals helped me feel prepared and focused.
There's no escape now. Colin Burton is breathing fire and has locked onto Chris Ilduke's tail. The excitement is palpable. This is going to be a race for the ages.
The drivers are executing their strategies to perfection, making the most of every opportunity. This is what top-level racing is all about.
This is edge-of-the-seat stuff. Joe Ergue is relentlessly hunting down Colin Burton. Who'll blink first? Some say it's about the journey, not the destination. But Robin Overbeck seems pretty intent. Hold up a mo. Well, crikey. Robin Overbeck's taken a detour, just like I did when I tried to change my car's oil. Ended up with a flooded garage. Oh, this is getting intense. Joe Ergue is just a few car lengths behind Colin Burton.
It's like watching a hawk circling its prey, waiting for the right moment to swoop.
The gap between Keane and Robin Overbeck is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 0.4 seconds. Sorry to interrupt here, but, oof, Colin Burton misjudged that corner like I misjudged my last relationship. Too fast, too soon.
Whoa Nelly, looks like Colin Burton's been watching too much NASCAR, trying to drift on an F1 circuit.
No room for error here. Chris Ilduke is breathing down the neck of Joe Ergue, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. The gap between Mr. Bang and Eddie G is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Mr. Bang to bring Eddie G into play.
Reckon Eddie's starting to feel a bit like they're out in the outback. They can see the horizon, but it's a long way off. Good on young Mr. Bang for keeping that distance.
Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Chris Ilduke is sniffing around Joe Ergue like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of ninth. Remember when Robin Overbeck was on the pace? Neither do I, kinda like my recollection of last Friday night. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Chris Ilduke is proper nipping at Joe Ergue's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. Someone's revved up after lunch. Chris Ilduke blitzed ahead, claiming ninth.
That kind of move? That's what happens when you mix horsepower with a dash of southern charm.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. By the looks of it, Eddie G reckoned Croft 2019 had a hidden shortcut. Too bad there isn't one. It looks like Rob is pushing hard to catch up to Megasaurus 55. The gap is over a second, but Rob is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Megasaurus 55? It looks like Chris Ilduke is all over Joe Ergue. I think they are gonna press him through hairpin and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Rob, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as your U is going to be aware of them riding their bumper. I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
Chris Ilduke is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Joe Ergue at the moment. Keen is on fire in the last sector.
They're not leaving anything on the table.
I reckon Megasaurus 55's bumper sticker must read, "You can look, but you can't pass." Rob's getting a good read of it for sure.
It's like watching a classic game of cat and mouse. Only this mouse, Megasaurus 55, has some serious horsepower. Rob better find some cheese and lure them out.
What a win! This is a historic moment for Megasaurus 55, who put on a masterclass in driving today. What a display of skill and precision.
You could feel the tension building throughout the race, but Megasaurus 55 remained focused and in control. That's what separates the winners from the pack.
What a drive from Rob, securing a great second place finish. What a race from Rob and Overbeck. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
Taking 4th, 5th and 6th is Sunoiler, Hugh Jass and Wayne Pearson, with Eddie G and Mr. Bang in 7th and 8th. Joe Ergue take 9th. Chris Ilduke end in 10th. Colin Burton brings home 11th.